Good morning, everyone. I have a new sound system. Tell me how I sound, please. Good morning. My goodness, it's Smart Start. It is Tuesday. It is August 1st. Wow. And that means in my house, August 1st is the countdown to college. I can't believe it. I know everybody walks around saying they can't believe it. I was just looking at my Facebook page, and Rebecca Riley posted saying she can't believe how our kids have grown. And it's true, but I can't believe it. So it's exciting now. Good morning, Jason. Good morning, Stephanie. How are you today? Good morning, Francie. I'm going to say some good morning shout outs. So as I was saying before, it's August 1st, and in our home, that means countdown to college this year. Yeah. So that young man is going off to college on, Jean, is it August 28th, I think, or something like that? See how I don't know the name? Hi, Joanna. Let me put my glasses on. I can't see the last one, so I'm just having... Hey, Andrea, thank you for joining us. So it's Science Tuesday, and today we're going to talk about perspective. Good morning, Paul. Good morning, Petco. Okay, so... here we have Smart Start. And so, I've been meaning to tackle this. Hi, Aine, how are you? I believe you're not in the city. I want to come and see your show. And I was about to email you and see if you are around so I can come and see it, but I'll wait till you're back in the city. Artists on this feed, please, dialogue with me and have a conversation. We're doing perspective today, so you know it probably better than I do. Okay. So, hi, Jason. It's good to see you. Let me have another minute of good mornings, everyone. Good morning, Jason. It's nice to see you. Oh, thank you. Yeah, my son worked very, very hard. Good morning, Elizabeth Knowles. Good morning, Eunice. Good morning, Stephen. Elizabeth Knowles, wonderful artist. She's up next at the Flatiron in September, so very excited about that show. She follows Serena Buski, and I think it's like the perfect combination of both. Jason, yeah, we're very proud of our son. He worked extremely hard, and he got a major scholarship, academic scholarship to Boston University, which I think is the perfect place for him. He really wanted to be in a city, specifically Boston, and be able to explore his own city. Coming from New York, I think it'll be really fabulous for him. Okay, so let's get started. Good morning, Mark. So perspective. Let's start with the Greeks. There was perspective. The Greeks had perspective. Right? There's a notion that perspective didn't begin until the early Renaissance, and that's not wrong, but it's just not completely true. As my son, who is a science kid and will be studying physics at Boston, among other things, always reminds me of Newton, Isaac Newton, that is, not our dog Newton, who's sleeping right now. Newton said, "I stand on the shoulders of giants." And I think that's true for all of history. So let's think about the earlier Greeks. I believe this is a Roman copy, by the way. And I haven't put the attributes in today because, honestly, I got up very late. But I will put them on for when we post this. So the Greeks did have a perspective, but it wasn't a linear perspective in the sense that we're going to work on today. It was more of a hierarchical perspective of how they viewed people and rendered them on vases and such. So I think that's important to note. I think that it didn't just happen in a bubble. It was a process that was happening all along. We go to the Romans. And again, we see there is a perspective here. Again, it's not the linear perspective that we've come to know, or that three-dimensional perspective that we've come to know, but there is this aspect to it. Actually, I wrote something about it, so I want to read it to you. Actually, I didn't write it. Someone else wrote it. The Romans offer us the most fresco paintings, and many were discovered, this is from Pompeii, by volcanic ash in the vicinity of Pompeii. As you can see, the Romans were painting some degree of illusionistic styles, conveying a sense of depth, shading, and sometimes shadows, though not a systematic perspective. So we're getting a little bit of it. And again, artists, the onus is on you today because you guys know this really well. Let's move to the Gothic period, Byzantine, early Gothic. Okay? We see a lot of gold ground. We see, quote unquote, a trinity, but in more of a totemic. But again, very little perspective, very flat, very, very flat rendering. And let's move on. Another one. You know, typical Gothic pieces from the, religious iconography. Again, you see quite a bit of gold ground in there. Those were requested and paid more for. And again, this flat perspective. You see no depth, just the gold in the background. Then we come into the early Renaissance, and we come onto this Alberti, Leon Battista Alberti, and he puts together this treatise of perspective. And in this book, Da Pittura, it's on painting, and it's written in 1435, and it's a treatise on major art that has widespread circulation during the Renaissance, aimed to describe the figurative arts using geometry. Painting is divided into circumspecto, it's consisting in drawing the body's contour, composito, tracing the lines joining the body, recipito luminum, taking into consideration colors and light. It analyzes all the techniques and paintings and theories known at the time. And this has widespread appeal. And then what happens, what we see from here, let me just tell you there, is with these diagrams and with the printing of the book, we start to see another aspect of perspective come to fruition, and one that stays with us for a very long time. Here we go. So now look at this. This artist is Perugino, and again, I'll put the attributes on. And you see a whole different look at perspective now. You see a background, you see a foreground, you see a midground. Good morning, Elizabeth. You see sky. You see so much. And so differently, the depth that it has becomes revolutionary. I want to show you this and this together. And do you see the geometry? Yes, Stephanie, focal points. Thank you. Stephanie, you're like the Cheryl Whisperer. When the words I can't find, you find for me. Thank you. Focal points, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. The vanishing point, the focal point, where you now have a systematic plan of opening up the space, opening up the picture plane, and being able to see the side view, everything that you see here. And that really ushers in so many ways, helps usher in the Renaissance. It's a huge quote-unquote discovery, and one that is of utmost importance. This is Leonardo da Vinci, the Annunciation, and this is one of the pieces that really just embodies that perspective. It embodies a little bit more for me too, and although it's off the point here, I'm going to go with it. One of the things I love about this piece so much is that I don't know, and I want to know what you think. Is the angel Gabriel landing or taking off? Leonardo not only embodies Alberti's perspective, but look what he does with this sense of flight, this sense of landing, this sense of uplifting. It is so light and airy, and yet grounded. That we don't know if the angel is kneeling as a blessing or a blessing and then leaving. It's really remarkable, absolutely remarkable. And so, the Renaissance, we have these absolute giants. Earlier than that, we have Masaccio, not much earlier. And in Masaccio's piece, and I have some written about that, this is 1427, and again, I'll put the attributes on after. This is in Santa Maria Novella in Florence. And it's just Masaccio was profoundly influenced the art and the painting in the Renaissance. According to Vasari, and I'm going to talk about Vasari in a minute, all the most celebrated Florentine painters and sculptors studied his frescoes extensively in order to learn the precepts and the rules for painting well. He transformed the direction of Italian painters, moving it away from the idealizations of Greek art, and for the first time, presenting it as a part of the most profound natural and humanistic world. Moreover, Masaccio influenced a great many artists, both while he was alive and posthumously. So when you see pieces like this, so let's juxtapose this for a minute. When we go from this, which has a tremendous beauty. I mean, I love Gothic art. I can just live in a Gothic art gallery. I just love it. And not for the religious aspect of it. It's not about that for me. But there's just tremendous beauty in this. But to go from that to this is very, very powerful. Very, very powerful and very important. I want to show you, because I think that you should all read it, the barrel, well, Stephanie did it again. I have to go back, guys. The barreled coffered ceiling, gives it depth, tremendous depth. And yet he's still, yes, you're seeing that focal point. You're seeing all of that. You're going in. For the first time, we're going kind of into this crucifixion, and that's really amazing. That's really amazing. And I love how he puts, right? I mean, think about this. He's putting the crucifixion in his contemporary times. Good morning, Tom Estes. Boy, did we miss you yesterday. It's nice to see you here. Wow. And good morning, Paxel. I don't want to get off the point, but Tom has been very upset, as have been the rest of us in the art world, about this whole brouhaha over Dana. Oh my God, it's too early in the morning for me. A particular painting that was at the Biennial. Somebody give me her last name. I'm sorry about that. I absolutely love the painting, by the way. But anyway, getting back to that. So I love that he puts Christ in his contemporary architecture, right? This is Florence. And he also puts the donors in the piece. Do you notice that the people kneeling on the outside, on the parapet, are the donors? They paid for this piece. And like all, well, I don't want to say all donors. I don't want to say that I don't want to talk about elitism in art. Hi, Brenda. Good morning. Hey, Jamie. Good morning. But the notion that you put yourself in the painting with Christ and his mother and the Holy Family, because you paid the artist to paint it, is really a Renaissance. It really is this thing that happens in the Renaissance, and I used to find it appalling. Now I find it humorous. Anyway, want you all to read the lives of the most excellent painters, sculptors, and architects if you haven't read it already. This is a treatise that was done by Vasari at the time, in the time frame that Alberti wrote his treatise on perspective. And Alberti, this is the first art history. This is the first biography of artists. And he was also an artist, but he's writing about the artists of his time. And it's wonderful to read. My son read it. I read it a long time ago. And it's just wonderful to read about art that was happening at that moment. He writes about Michelangelo. He writes about Leonardo. And it's just really, it's really a fun read. Hi, Jacob. Good morning. Nice to see you here. So we're talking about perspective, and it's Science Tuesday. And Tom, do you have anything to add? Do you have anything that you'd like to add for us? Tom is an artist. I want the artists to discuss perspective. Serena's not here with us this morning. She's been sleeping late. I'm just going to go back for the benefit of the people that just came in. So we have Newton. What's the matter? You hear Newton in the background. Okay, this is from Pompeii. This is a particular type of perspective, but it's not the overall systematic perspective that Alberti brings us. Okay, Gothic. I'll go through it again quickly. And then we have, and this book is also still available, by the way. Okay, wait, Tom. Or give me a minute. It's okay, Tom. My son has been wanting me to do this show, and he wanted for science, and he wanted me to also do School of Athens, which I want to do. Oh, wait, everybody. Wait, I can't go on. We all must bow down. My mother just joined the feed. Phyllis McGinnis. Hey. Okay, so my son and husband have been wanting me to do this show, and because they're science geeks, and it's a monster show. It's like a monster segment, and the School of Athens, it's huge, and so it really takes me a long time to put these together because I'm reading so much. And trying to go on with it. Yeah, you love it, right? Stephanie, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have William work on School of Athens so that for next Tuesday, we're going to have such a comprehensive show. So make sure you stay here for a long time because School of Athens it feels like it can go on for hours. Okay, but getting back to it. So here we have Alberti's treatise on perspective, changing the picture plane, and then we have perspective coming into play. And so that's how it was. Very exciting time in the Renaissance, but it's important to note that this could not have been done. It wasn't done in a vacuum. It wasn't as if there was never any perspective before. It was a different type of perspective. What Alberti gives us is a systemized, a system of it, a unified system of it, and then it carries forth from there. But as my son always quotes Isaac Newton, you stand on the shoulder of giants. And so Alberti just didn't come up with this himself. The Greeks certainly had a system, and people understood math and geometry. He kind of put it all together, and that was really transformative and wonderful. So for this Tuesday, for science, because we're like more into the week, I want you to get this book, The Lives of the Artists. I think you'll really like it. I do. I really love this book. Dealing with the Renaissance. It's a rich time. Alberti not only wrote just one book on the treatise of perspective, he wrote several books. Yes, the Chinese as well, Jason, absolutely. And in the I'm losing my words. Certainly, hi Christina. Certainly in the early Near East, right? I mean, you had all of this, the notions of civilization, culture, whatever. So it's just a matter of kind of understanding history, and even for the Renaissance, and building upon that. But what I love also about Alberti's treatise is that was just one book. He wrote books on family life. He wrote books on artists. He wrote books, and so many in this. You get this now richness of culture, and where the books and the artists and music is kind of all coming to fruition and working together. And obviously with the printing press, Gutenberg's press, you have the ability now to have more widespread knowledge of things. So that is our Science Tuesday. And honestly, can somebody please tell Gene Faba that he needs to comment, because he's the science guy, yeah, in this house. And even though I'm the art person, it would help to have a more science voice. Hi, Scott. So thank you all for joining for Science Tuesday. And I really hope that you enjoy. I'll put on the attributions. Thank you all for liking my new Facebook page. I'm switching to the new Facebook page. And here's the funny thing. I was blocked from my own page yesterday of inviting people because they said I was inviting people too fast. So Facebook blocked me from inviting more people. It's just crazy. And I wrote to them and I said, wait a minute. I have 5,000 friends. So I'm trying to do this quickly because I have other things to do today, but I'm still blocked. So as soon as I can, I'm going to use the Smart Start page. Thank you all for liking it. And if you could share it and continue to like it, that would help me. And then I'll let you know when we'll start going live from the Smart Start page. But for now, I'll also post all the past videos. Yeah, I know, Stephanie, right? LOL, Facebook. I mean, what do you think that I'm doing that's so wrong? I'm just trying to build my page. Hi, Serena. We talked about perspective without you. Good morning, Serena. So anyway, so I'm building that, and as soon as I can, we'll start going live from there. But in the meantime, I'm adding all the old videos, all the past videos to that page so that I'm trying to put it in some kind of order. Okay, all right, wait, Tom's back. I don't think you can address the Renaissance without looking at the Byzantine. I think you're right. The flattening of the image with a stylistic device rather than an ignorance of perspective. Wait a minute, Tom. Are you calling me ignorant? Because you were late, my friend. And look, we have Byzantium here. We discussed it. I didn't think you were calling me ignorant, Tom. I'm just kidding. Yes, of course we have to discuss the Byzantine. He's absolutely right. That's why I love this show. You're all getting to know me, so you're going to start yelling at me soon. Don't. Please. I'll just cry. Everybody have a great Tuesday. I will see you tomorrow for Women Crush Wednesday. Anybody who has an idea of something that they'd like me to cover or show, could you let me know? Because I will. I absolutely will. I'd be very, very happy to. Hi, Robert. And I invited Stephanie to guest curate for us, so I'm very looking forward to seeing what she puts together. When you can, Stephanie, she's going to guest curate a Smart Start for us. Okay, thank you all. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you tomorrow for Women Crush Wednesday. Have a great day. Bye. Oh, hi, Karen. I have to say hi to Karen first before I go. I'm sorry, Karen Dolmanish is on the feed, and she's a wonderful artist. Karen, you're doing a show, right? You've gone and you're working on an exhibit, I think. So best of luck with that. And we discussed perspective today, so please watch it and weigh in on it. And you know, I always feel like I'm keeping you guys too late, so that's why I meant the Byzantine is often forgotten or ignored. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Tom. All right, let me get back to Karen. What happens is I think I'm keeping you too long, so then I kind of rush to finish. But I'm here as long as you want to be here, so I don't need to rush to finish. I just want to make sure that I'm not keeping you from other shows like Chatter or whatever you do as you get your day started. So thank you, Tom, for that. Karen, thank you for joining us. It's always good to see you. Thank you, everyone, for joining. And let's talk about perspective some more, okay? All right, I will see you tomorrow for Women Crush Wednesday. Talk to you soon, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you.